And we are back, and today we have Metaverse HQ with us today, and we have two awesome gentlemen, and he's gonna teach us everything we need to know about Metaverse HQ. So let's start with a quick intro. Who is Jacob and who's EQ Poppy?
Hey, thank you so much for having us. Yeah,
Thank
I'm
you for coming.
Jacob. I am the marketing lead for Metaverse HQ, and then I'll let Poppy introduce himself.
I am the social media manager for Metaverse HQ.
Awesome, nice. And what is the back? Could you give us a background info of what Metaverse HQ is and what you guys are building?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we were the first alpha group to really tokenize and officially token gate our Discord back in July of last year. We kind of started as a Top Shot closed group, and that's kind of what onboarded a lot of us to Web3 and NFTs. And then, that quickly took a turn for the worse. And we really migrated over to the ETH blockchain. And that's kind of where we found our stride and where we all came up together.
Mhm.
So, back when NFTs were just getting started on ETH, that's really where we built our foundation. We dropped our collection of 1,500 NFTs. That's what gave access to our Discord. And, it's kind of been all history ever since. We focus a lot on providing value to our members. That's really, our main goal as Metaverse HQ staff, as a community. And all our staff really started as members once upon a time. And then, I think we kind of all found the value ourselves and just want to give back to the community. So, we do that in a lot of different ways. I would say the major one that kind of differentiates us from the rest at the beginning and really helped us build our culture was our 24/7 voice chat. So that's, really where we became close as a community, and where we kind of share any time sensitive alpha information, investment theses, different macro or micro, like economic conversations, as well as just, how everyone's feeling and kind of building that close friendship with each other. So that's definitely one of the major ways that we stand out from others. And then we do a ton of other cool things with content on Twitch, on YouTube, on Discord. And we also have a Launchpad for consulting services that we provide, as well as a few other things we might get to mention later on.
Cool. And for consulting, what do you mean by that? Do you give advice to other up and coming NFT projects?
Yeah, so typically how the Launchpad works is we have a pretty strict partnership standards that we hold our partners to, and people that we collaborate with. So we like to make sure that they can stand on their own, and that, a lot of people track our wallets, they follow our members. We've got some of the most high profile traders, investors, collectors in the space. So we don't want a project to sell out or do well just because, Metaverse HQ partnered with them, or Metaverse HQ bought in. So we really like to be pretty strict there. And Launchpad is for people who might not meet those standards yet, or need a little help to get there, and
Okay.
kind of have the right ingredients or right team behind them. And we kind of help them strategically get to that point. And it's a pretty all-encompassing plan. So it's really flexible to the partner's needs. And then, ideally we get to a point where we'd want to partner with them anyway, and then we can kind of incorporate that aspect of it as well. And it works out pretty well.
And the 24/7 voice chat, that's very interesting. So when you say that, do you mean customer support, or is there always someone on there giving advice and having conversations
Yeah.
with one
So
another?
it's very much run by the community. We'll have mods in there pretty much all throughout the day as well, but we have a very international community. So really, it's just a place for people to stop by, ask questions, learn, have fun, and just interact with our community. So right now we've got around like 53 people in there at the moment. So
That's awesome.
yeah, during the bull market, we'll have like 100, 120 at any given point of the day. But
Always looking for the alpha.
Yeah, exactly. During the slow period, we encourage people to get outside, touch grass, and just, sleep more than they normally do. So it's not as crazy as it always is, but it'll have different spikes in attendance, I would say. But this is kind of the average for any given day.
So do you guys specialize in like flipping or long-term holding?
We specialize in any type of investing. So I would say everyone's strategy is different. Everyone's risk tolerance is different, and it's going to depend on the project, right? So a lot of people, I think, have a preconceived notion about alpha communities. And Poppy, maybe you can chime in here. But where it's like everyone thinks they're a flipper, right? Or that I would say we faced this a little bit more earlier on in our days before we were as established as we are now. And, we have a lot more documentation and things that we provide in our partnerships to, show what we've done in the past and how we operate, which kind of gives us a lot of additional credibility and gives partners insight into who we are and what we do before we actually partner. But, we've always been of the mindset that it's like, give us a reason to hold, give us a reason to invest for us to make that conviction play. And, that's kind of the sound investment strategy that we look to use. And that's why we're so adamant about having our partners come in for an office hours or for a Twitter Spaces where they can, talk about their project to our community, educate our community on their team, their vision, their goals, their roadmap, and give our community a chance to interact with them as well and give feedback, ask questions, things like that. And that's where we found the most success in terms of like conviction plays and partnering with projects.
Yeah.
I think I would just add to that. I think the hardest part is just breaking that stigma of, everybody thinks that alpha groups are just flippers. And that's the hardest thing to get across, especially to somebody new, like a new partner that you're trying to lock in, that they just might not believe you because they've had different experiences with the other alpha groups. And, we're just not your average group, comprised of artists, developers, biggest traders. So it's something that you have to keep in mind when you're, engaging with new communities. Like obviously they've had different experiences. So it's just kind of like getting that across. But after every time we have a Twitter space, they're always very happy about, the questions that we bring, the interactions that we get from the crowd, especially with office hours. I mean, we've had great office hours. One of them, we actually had one of our members gift a token to one of the speakers that came in. And, like that just goes to show like how much we care about the people that we have coming in as well as our community.
Yeah. And the office hours, is that what you call your Twitter Spaces?
So our office hours are actually private for our Discord members, and then our Twitter Spaces are open to the public so that more people are accessible to this information.
Yeah, I think Poppy did a great job putting it there. It's kind of like you get trust issues from one of your exes, right? But you're not that ex, right? We're a completely different person, So it's just like breaking that stigma, kind of standing out and showing what we're all about.
It's always good to go into a new relationship with an open mind.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
I did check out your Twitter, and you guys host a ton of Twitter Spaces, which is amazing. So, and these are really good projects. So, if anyone listening, you guys are a fan of Twitter Spaces, go check out their Twitter, and you can plug your Twitter right now. I forgot the exact handle.
Yeah, it's Metaverse _HQ.
There we go. Yeah, check them out, guys. And let's talk about your past experience, where you guys worked before you got into the NFT space. And how long have you been in the NFT space for? Because I know you said that you came in and you were trading Top Shot, and that was before my time. I think I joined right before BAYC was released, so I'm not too in tune with that timeline.
Yeah, for sure. I'll get started, then Poppy can give his background as well. So before NFTs, I was doing, marketing and sales and kind of business development at a couple different companies, focusing like on growth and a little product management as well. So it was kind of just it's very Web3 where you're wearing 10 different hats and very startup-esque. So first I started at, a couple different sales jobs. I was working at a med tech startup doing like product management and growth. And then I actually, like in between going full-time Web3, I was like, if I had like a Web2, Web3 job, then I would like feel stable and like I would get to, still be in Web3. Because there was a point in my life where it was like, I just can't not be like at the forefront of innovation and technology. Like I'm just such a nerd and so into that stuff that it's like, I'm just doing myself a disservice and making myself unhappy if I'm not like fully focused on that. Yeah. So I was like trying to go like 75% of the way there. And I worked for like a blockchain company called Near. So I was doing growth product management from them as well, but I was also a member of Metaverse HQ at the time. And I just loved the community too much. I loved trading and I loved the NFT space and learning. And there was just something new every hour of every day. And like, it was just so exciting. And I would have a work meeting where I would miss like a crazy hyped mint, or I would just not be able to talk to my friends. And it's just, I had to quit because I was just like, this is just too much fun. I'm making too much money. And it's just, it's too great to not be full-time in that specifically and be where like my heart is. And haven't looked back since. It was the best decision ever. And it's been even better than I could have ever imagined. So I'm very happy with being a part of Metaverse HQ.
I'm happy for you, man. Welcome to Web3.
In terms of Web3 journey, I would say I started like August, September last year. I've been in crypto since 2017, so I kind of saw like the potential of NFTs like as soon as it started coming up, like, in my purview. Like when people started talking about it around me, I was like, I definitely have to get into this. I got to learn more. I learned more by starting off with my first mint being a rug, but the real reason I got into Web3 was because I had just graduated from Rutgers University, Camden, and I was kind of in this position where I'm looking for a job, and I was leaving my old job at the time, which was hospitality industry, which I had done for 5 years prior. And I had a connection with a venture capitalist company, and, interviewing great. I ended up moving up to head of research with them for about 6 months. And, as time went on, I got to travel. I went to LA. I've been to LA for conferences, Miami. I've done concerts, NFT galleries. Like, it's been an amazing time and a great experience. And then, I came to meet Metaverse HQ through Mitch. So Mitch introduced me to Metaverse HQ, and I got integrated first as a partnerships representative. So I was locking in those deals for potential like office hour, like how it leads on to go into office hours, Twitter Spaces, allow list allocations, all that kind of stuff. And then I kind of showed my work ethic, and I moved up onto social media management. So I kind of stepped away from the VC company and went full time with Metaverse HQ.
Awesome.
Yeah, Poppy's a beast.
I'm sure he is. Anyways, so what inspired you to create this?
Yeah, so I will say we weren't, the initial creators. Also, I would say you've been a major part in shaping the vision, as well as the rest of the staff along the way. Just because we are kind of pioneering on the new frontier, I would say. So our vision's definitely changed and grown and evolved as we've grown and evolved, and as the space has grown and evolved. But Jake is our founder, so people get confused with Jake and Jacob sometimes, but we try to change it with that. I've never really been called Jake for whatever reason. I guess he has, so that's a good differentiator there. But I think he just really wanted to create a place for people to learn and trade and really just take the space by the horns and you know, make a living out of it. I think provide a space for people to do that as a group, as a community, and to help each other learn and grow that way, and just take advantage of this incredible opportunity that we have in front of us.
And none of this is financial advice, obviously, but for those looking to make money in this space, how should they navigate, throughout the bear market, whether whether they're a long-term investor or a flipper?
Yeah, I would say the bear market's an interesting time, and we were talking about this a couple times in voice chat recently, the past 2 days. Is that like, right now it's kind of the stealth mint meta, and we'll go in and out of these sort of metas. We've seen a number of cycles at this point since we started last July, but it's a time where you want to be very careful with your money. A lot of people are kind of just following like different free mints. Like obviously Goblin Town has gone absolutely insane. That was a free mint that, a lot of Metaverse HQ got a ton on, and I'm sure, laddered them out on the way to the astronomical price that it's at now. But, some people...
6 ETH.
Is it that 6 ETH now? It was at
6
5 last night or something. Oh my god,
it's insane.
But so it's like it's a bear market, and you have a free mint going to 6 ETH within like a week or two. So it's like clearly there are opportunities out there. We've seen a lot of opportunities on Solana. We recently partnered with like Trippin' Apes and Akumu Dragons, which it moved from Solana to ETH, but Trippin' Apes is still on Solana. And those, did very well. I think like Trippin' Apes like 20x'd in the first couple hours. Akumu Dragons like 4 or 5x'd. So even with a lot of like FUD and kind of they had a contract issue. So there's definitely those opportunities out there. It's so hard for me to like try to think of a outsider perspective or a newcomer perspective almost, because the space has changed so much since when I was a newcomer, and I've always had Metaverse HQ like pretty much since the beginning of my journey. So I don't know what it's like to be out there on your own. I would say like my biggest recommendation is, find a place like Metaverse HQ. I know our secondary price is a little bit prohibitive, and at the moment, just because it is so expensive. So there are definitely other cheaper alpha groups or just communities that you can be a part of and join and find like, a close group of friends that you can talk about this stuff with. Because if you're trying to do it on your own and you're just getting started, like I would say there's almost like a 0% chance that, you're going to sustain profits long term. You definitely need a group of people to balance your viewpoints off of, and, find different projects together, because there's so much things happening at once. So that would definitely be my biggest suggestion, is just find a group of people that you can connect with, and that you can talk about different investments and strategies and kind of the overall market together.
I mean, I would say just go ahead.
I was just going to say, another thing I would add is that, when you're in these alpha groups, you will meet a lot of people that are tech savvy, and they know how to work with contracts. They know how to, explain how gas works, how you have to set your priority. All that kind of stuff is very important to know, especially when you're, outside of the range where you can lock in a whitelist. Like you're going against the public, you have to be prepared. It's not as easy. And especially if you're outside of a group that understands all these issues that you're going to be facing, there's a very high chance that you're just going to keep getting failed transactions and feel like you'll never like get to the point where you're succeeding, but that's not to say that you can't find that in another group. Another thing is just really understanding the market. Like if you're very outside of the community, you could just start by reading up articles on how projects are doing, or, every week we put out a weekly recap explaining like, successful drops, successful developments within projects, all those kinds of things are important to know when you want to get into the market. You can't just go in and expect to mint something out and, it's going to be like 10x. It doesn't work like that,
Mm-hmm. So the NFT would be the membership to your content. Yes. Yeah. And so let's say if I buy the NFT, what type of content would I be provided with?
Yeah, definitely. So I alluded to a little bit of it earlier. Like I said, I think if you're gonna get the maximum value out of Metaverse HQ, you're definitely gonna want to be in the voice chat. We've got like 62 people in there right now, and that's where you can really ask any questions, get up to speed, like any hyped drop or anything that's actively happening, a stealth mint like is on the voice chat, either over voice or over text, or most likely both. And that's where you can kind of just lurk if you're not comfortable talking, or ask questions in text, or participate actively in the conversations, and you'll receive a very warm welcome. Like that's something that we really pride ourselves on, is like, it's crazy how polite and how like nice, and the etiquette in our voice chat that we've been able to foster is just unbelievable, especially compared to some other voice chats we've been in. So I think that's definitely where the most value is, and where you're going to want to spend your time. And to get the maximum value out of Metaverse HQ, you definitely want to like commit a few hours a day to actively participate, which not everyone can do, right? But if you don't have the time to actually participate as much in there, we have our office hours that are our private partner interviews and AMAs and demos. So that's something that you can look to participate. We have those scheduled out at least a week in advance, for our members to kind of book in their calendars. We also have, allow list spots that we raffle off for each partner that we have, usually, 100 to 200 spots for our members. And then we'll also have different chats for, specific topics on gaming, different metaverses, just general like field reports that'll come out from our members. So we'll reward our members if they provide like detailed rundowns of projects or things that are coming out. So you'll have those for specific things, and you'll also just have like all the video content that we do record from our Twitter Spaces and from our office hours. And then, yeah, I mean, if there's something that you're looking for, you'll probably be able to find it somewhere in Metaverse HQ. As Poppy mentioned, we have like the recaps and the daily reports that are super valuable for people who might not be able to be as active in the market 24/7. You'll get a general update of any like major news or things happening.
Mm-hmm. So for the people that are maybe they're on the edge about whether they want to buy this NFT or not, if they want free educational content, they can go to your Twitter. And you mentioned your Twitch.
Yeah, so I would say Twitter and YouTube are probably the best bets right now. YouTube's where we have all our like evergreen content and our recordings. And then we are actually expanding a lot to Twitch very soon with some more live content.
Okay, cool. And if I buy the NFT, how long would the membership last for?
Yep. So the membership will last until the end of this year. So there'll be a new membership token at the beginning of 2023.
Okay. And for the key holders right now, will they have any benefit maybe 2022 onwards?
Definitely. So anyone holding a key at the end of 2022, we'll release more information when we get closer to that date. But anyone holding a key will automatically be able to, get first access to the next key and have a secured spot for next year that they're able to purchase.
So it sounds like every key is a yearly membership to the content that you guys provide. Okay.
Correct.
And on the website, it said that you guys are switching from ERC 1155 to ERC 721. Could you talk about like why you made that choice?
Yeah, definitely. So, when we first started, the space was, you can see the new token video there. So we're pretty happy. One of our members made that for us. And it looks super cool. So that one reason is like, we just wanted a new cool design that matched our kind of new current branding.
Okay.
And then the main reason though are the technological benefits behind it. So back when we were first getting started, the space was brand new. We didn't have half the marketplaces or contracts or anything that we have today. So we kind of started very simply on an OpenSea storefront contract, which is where a lot of projects back then kind of started. And it was just the simplest way to get our community going and off the ground. But now there's a lot of limitations with we have a lot of partners who want to whitelist our entire community for specific airdrops or different claims or different things within their ecosystem or video game. And with the OpenSea storefront contract, since there's so many other projects on it, it's very hard to isolate our specific members and our tokens and our users, especially with an 1155 where it's all like one token and it's kind of under one listing. So there's just a lot of downsides to that. You can't really integrate with other projects and communities and contracts as well. So having the ERC 721 allows us to get an individualized token for each member. So we can, delineate it that way. We can do a lot more statistics and tracking on, what our members are doing, which projects they're in, and kind of, have a deeper connection with them that way, as well as do a lot of other cool stuff that are token gated with our internally or with our partners. So like, for example, we're doing an RSVP for our party. And with the new contract, it's much easier to see, all right, how many people are RSVPing, token gating it to our members specifically, and, making it a seamless user experience. Whereas before, that would be pretty much impossible with a lot of the tools that we have.
Yeah. And are there any other services that Metaverse HQ provides, like maybe technical lessons, or are you guys hiring and looking for people in the Web3 space?
Yeah, so we do have a lot of members who are, very technical and have that experience. So we've had them host office hours before on, we'll have people talking about gas and how to mint from contract and, different Solidity development work that members are welcome to attend or check out the videos on YouTube. And then we also have people that'll come in from all sorts of different things. So there's a lot of people who have strong backgrounds in like technical analysis or chart reviews and things like that from a stock background or an early crypto background. So they'll do talks and demonstrations on that, and really anything that our community kind of wants or has experience in. And then, sorry, what was the other question?
The job offerings.
Oh, yes. So we're always looking for good talent, right? And 99.99% of that starts with our community. So we don't really look for outside talent just because our community is so strong.
Okay.
But we will have a page coming up soon on our website where you can see all our open job listings and actually apply there. And there will be a special token gated part of that to delineate anyone who is a part of our community applying, and new members who are applying as well. So we don't want to discourage people from outside the community to apply, because we know that there's talent everywhere, and we know that not everyone, like I said, can afford the price to entry. So we wanted to make it a very public facing page for our community and for the broader public to see what kind of positions are open and where they could potentially fit in. So that'll be coming in the next few weeks, probably.
Okay. And can you talk about some benefits of hiring people from within your community?
Yeah, I mean, it's a very good fit because they already understand our value proposition. They already understand what they're all about and what our vision is. So it's a very like kind of seamless transition. A lot of people in the community already are like kind of part-time or doing a little bit of freelance work, like I mentioned, with some of those field reports or helping us connect with new partners, things like that. We will look to reward them with different allow list spots and things like that to help them, just to reward them for their efforts. So a lot of community members are already doing stuff like that, kind of freelance or ad hoc. And then it's a pretty seamless transition from there if we do have an opening and are able to support them from a more defined standpoint and consistently.
Cool. Awesome. And I know if you have 5 keys, you can become a Metaverse HQ Whale.
Yes.
So what is a Metaverse HQ Whale and what are the benefits of becoming
Yeah,
a whale?
so Metaverse HQ Whales get some pretty cool perks. So they get lifetime access to our Discord. So they'll never have to purchase a renewal ever again. They just get to, for as long as Metaverse HQ is active, which will be for the next 100 years at least. I'll make sure of it. They get access to everything that we ever do, and they'll get that top tier of access as well. So we're always looking for ways to reward our biggest supporters. Right now, one of the main ways is through our allow list raffle system. So they get a special pool. Right now, 80% of our allow list allocation goes directly to our community members. So that's anyone who holds 1 or more tokens. 10% is actually going to go to our whales specifically. So 10% of our entire allocation will go directly to them. I think there's around maybe like 40 or 50 whales at the moment. So they get, much better odds at winning one of these raffles for allow list. So they almost get a guaranteed allow list every mint, depending on how many of the whales sign up. And then 10% of that will also go to our staff. So that's kind of how the breakdown works overall.
Okay.
And then our whales also get access to our team of trained virtual assistants. So we have a partnership with a virtual assistant training company that, we've contracted out and hired people who are specifically trained for NFT trading and allow listing. So they'll, go in different Discords and work to get you access or allow list or information, and they can kind of compile different tasks that you'll need from them. So you kind of just get access to that option as well, which is, a super great benefit to have just if you need,
Yeah, that sounds convenient.
Yeah. You can have them do, a lot of different things, whether it's coming to organizing your different spreadsheets or tracking your profits, or like I said, getting you allow list to different projects and doing research for you. It's a pretty cool benefit that we've been able to offer. And those are kind of the 2 main things. I don't know if I'm missing anything, Poppy, but.
No, I think you hit it right on the nail. Especially, the odds of, like, you have to think about it, like the most coveted allow list projects that we partner with, obviously their spots are going to be limited. Being a whale, like, your chances are significantly high, because as these coveted projects come in, you're going to have a lot of members trying to join. And it's not that you can't win. It's just that it's going to be tough. Everybody wants a spot at it. So I think that's a really good point. Like, some of these projects can 5x, not financial advice, but, it's something that once you're a whale, you start to realize it pays off itself very quickly.
Yeah. And you guys have some pretty cool partnerships. I'm just going to list them off pretty quickly. Nansen, Moby, Cool Cats, Guild of Guardians, WagMe, WagMe.io, Sin City, Premint, and NFT Nerd. So can you talk about what you guys are building with them? If you can't share, then it's completely okay.
Yeah, definitely. So I think for those, specifically, those are a lot of the tools that we've partnered with and feel strongly about. So, NFT Nerds is one of the best trading tools, out there, I would say. And that, we have a very close relationship with their team. We've given them a lot of feedback. They're rock stars, so they kind of know what to do and how to build. And we just kind of like to guide them along the way and provide our insights and feedback there. Sorry, I hear my dog barking. She gets really excited about NFT nerds. But we also, partner with Moby. We do a very similar thing. It's, we're the biggest users of a lot of these tools. So making them better, benefits us the most. So we're very invested in giving them feedback and making them as useful for NFT traders as possible. And a lot of the other partnerships like Guild of Guardians, Cool Cats, we're just big supporters of the projects, of the teams, and partnered with them for different allocations or collabs. A lot of the partnerships that I get most excited about are our co-branding. So we've done a number of co-branding opportunities. I can send you guys a link with some more details on that, but that's kind of where we incorporate a Metaverse HQ trait or a Metaverse HQ like honorary one of one in a collection. And that's been something that's been super fun for us to, design creatively, but also just to like have and see for our members. It really like integrates the community very well.
Cool. Awesome. And I noticed that there is a partnership application form. So can you guys talk about the different kinds of projects and creators that you would like to partner with, and from someone that would like to partner with you?
Yeah, definitely. And maybe Poppy can add a little more context here since he was on the partnerships team. So he might have a different perspective from my end. I'm normally the one who kind of goes on the calls and meets them after they've been vetted. But from a partnership standpoint, like I said earlier, we're really just looking for people who can kind of stand on their own 2 feet. And what that kind of comes down to a lot is kind of engagement on their social media and on their Discord. So first thing we do is we have a couple tools that really looks for any like fake followers, any botted Discords or botted accounts. And that's just a good way of seeing like, okay, is this, a real following that they have, a real community that they built, or are these just a bunch of followers that they paid for? So that's kind of our first step, is just to kind of narrow that down and see what's real and what's fake. And then, once we have that, we'll pare it down to like what percentages do they have of people engaging with their posts and reacting, commenting, retweeting, as well as like how many emojis are they getting reacted in their Discord? How many people do they have in their Discord? Different things like that. It's really just trying to gauge how strong their community that they built is and how big that community is. And then once we've gotten to that stage, we'll go into like a call. So we'll create a group chat, set up a call, and that's when we really like dive into, who's on the team, what are they building, are they going to be around for the long term, is it like a sustainable model or project, or does it have some sort of innovative aspect that we haven't seen before? And that's really what we look for, are people that are doing new and different things, that are providing value and pushing the space forward overall, because that's what we're looking to do. And we want people who are going to share in that vision and be around for the long term, as long as we are, so that we can continue to do cool stuff and activations and partnerships for years to come.
Cool.
I think I would just add to that, the kind of partnerships that we're looking for are not just meta, right? Like, you can't just look for something that's hot at the moment and think that it's going to be doing good 2-3 months later, right?
Yeah.
They have to have something unique, whether they're building a new open source platform, whether it's integrating a certain community from a different part of the world. Everyone has their own value proposition. It's just a matter of giving it out and really showing it. Like, a lot of these communities do have amazing people backing them and a lot of support, but they might lack marketing, so like, it's just like some projects we do understand that is something that they're not as strong on, and we still do partner with them, like like they do have potential value, and they have an all-star team, but if they're lacking that, maybe we can just guide them through that. That's why we have strategic partnerships. Our strategic partnerships, they're more long-term. We like to give advice on how we can, better market each event that you're doing. Like I've had a lot of conversations with some of our partnerships where I try to explain to them that, you only mint once. You know what I'm saying? Most projects only get to mint once. And if you're lucky, you get to mint more than once, That's something that has to really like sit in their mind. Like they're like not putting everything on the table. You know what I mean? And that's something that we have to really focus on. So when we're going towards events that are going on, we have to make sure that they're, announcing them properly. Like they are retweeting, sharing it with their community ahead of time. Like that's a lot of things that we expect from our partnerships because, we're doing a lot on our back end. As you can see, I mean, like we have an event almost every day where we had to like tone it down to Monday through Friday. So it's more efficient for everyone, But it is very interesting seeing it from the back end, as to seeing like how a new member might see it, because when they get that raid this tweet or like, oh, we're going live, like you're very excited, but like the amount of work that goes into each event like is a lot.
Yeah. So for a project like Metaverse HQ, do you guys plan on expanding into the metaverse? And if you do, how would it benefit you?
Yeah, that's a great question. Sorry, I'm just a little distracted because I'm looking at voice chat and goblins are now 8.5 ETH.
What? Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
So since we talked, if they were at 6 ETH when we started, they've gone up 2.5 ETH since then, which is...
What are they doing? Like, it's just a fun community. Like, are they building anything?
It's just a vibe, man. I don't know. I mean, I think they had some sneak peeks, or there was like a picture of a cup today that they sent out or something. But it's just a
picture of a cup.
Another type of level. Like we're all messed up in the head one way or another, it seems. So this is just one way to prove it. But yeah, no, happy for anyone with a gobby out there. Sorry, going back to the question, expanding into the metaverse. So yes, we have, big plans to expand in the metaverse. One way of doing that is through partnerships. So, right now it's really hard to see what metaverse is actually going to succeed and what's going to, launch in a timely fashion. So I think, we are super excited for the Sandbox. And we have a 3 plot of land in there. So that's definitely one of the more promising ones that we've actually invested in. And we have one of our builders, 6 Mil, who is a mod of ours and, has experience working for Pixar and Disney, I believe, doing different animations for them and working on some of the movies there. So he's a super talented guy that is actually building out that experience for us. So there will be some cool different social aspects as well as, adventure things within the Sandbox there. In terms of other current metaverses, Ape, the other side is obviously one that we've got our eyes on and want to get our hands on that SDK as soon as possible. I would say we just partnered with Atlantis World, who's doing some cool stuff in a more of a 2D kind of style, a little bit like RuneScape or something like that. And yeah, I think a lot of it is through partnerships. So with a lot of these metaverses that are coming out, we're looking to partner with them, learn more about them, give our members, the inside scoop and early access to these experiences for them to check out, give feedback, and then, we really want to see where the community goes, because that's where we're going to want to, invest our time and resources and partnerships. Mm-hmm. And it allows us to stay pretty nimble and agile and have multiple experiences throughout multiple metaverses, because I think that's the future. I don't really see there being just one metaverse that rules them all. I see there being different ones for different aspects and kind of being able to hop between them. So that's kind of the approach we're taking. We want to spread our net wide and then dive deeper into the ones that we see value in and that have been successful.
And in your opinion, how long do you think it will take before we see Metaverse adoption at a respectable scale?
Yeah, I mean, it really depends what you want to define a metaverse as, right? Because I mean, you can say like Discord, we're in the metaverse, or Twitter, we're in the metaverse, or I think just being able to connect with people online, via the internet, and having the ability to transfer these, funds and assets digitally, and digital ownership, that's kind of the humble beginnings of the metaverse until we have some sort of, mega 3D AR VR experience that's fully able to go back and forth between different experiences. That maybe the next 10 years or so, I think we'll have something like super cool by then for sure. I think in the next like 2 to 3 years we'll have some sort of MMO like experiences, or at least loosely MMO like experiences, which I think is kind of the first building stuff, and seems like what the Sandbox and the other side are trying to achieve. But until that reaches like large scale, and things that we haven't really seen in things like World of Warcraft or something like that before, not exactly sure when that'll be, or how successful it'll be, because I think there's going to be a lot of challenges and growing pains, of course, before we reach that level of mass adoption and seamlessness.
Cool. And can you guys touch on why you decided to go with the Sandbox over Decentraland or Portals or NFT Worlds?
Yeah, so I would say anyone from one of those projects, like if I bad talk you, it's just a little tough love, right? So you can make your product better. But Decentraland, I've had terrible experiences in Decentraland. I think it's pretty not fun, or like just the graphics aren't great. It's pretty laggy. There's not really much you can do. No one's really hanging out in there just to have fun and hang out. There was like a Bored Ape event I went to in there that we like gambled for like an hour, and it was just like incredibly laggy the whole time. I went to like one of Alice in Wonderland's like concerts in there, and it's just like a video of her playing on a stage and people standing there, and it's just like it's just not good. It's just not a good experience. The Sandbox, I still think it's got a ways to go. Some of the controls are a little clunky, and you obviously can't, like, it's obviously not out yet. So there's that, but it just seems to have like a stronger foundation, and the voxel style, while it isn't for everybody, it's a very sustainable model that we've seen like work with Minecraft, and it's much easier to scale and like integrate different assets into. So I think that's part of it. They've obviously got a lot bigger backing, and have kind of proven themselves a little bit more so far, even though there is a long way to go. So I think that's why it's just kind of one of the more promising aspects. Decentraland was like one of the first ones, but I'd be surprised if it lasts as long as a lot of the new ones coming out. And then some of the other ones kind of similar thing. NFT Worlds, we've done some things with like critters and different Minecraft projects, which I think are cool, but I think for the it's kind of like a band-aid fix, right? It's not something that's sustainable long term. It's just a way of bridging Web 2 into Web 3, and kind of it's a lot better than trying to make your own metaverse that doesn't have anything set in stone or already established. So I think that it's a great way for us to like utilize our new technology and figure out what works and what doesn't in the moment. But like I said, I just don't think it'll be sustainable, and it's going to take some time for someone to really get it right. So hoping it'll be someone soon.
Cool. And for my last question, what can people expect from your project in 2022?
What can they expect from Metaverse HQ? So yeah, I mean, we're just continuing to do everything bigger and better. I don't want to leak too much information now. Maybe we'll have to come back when we have more to share concretely. But yeah, expect us to host a new partner, a new community, a new project every day for, I think every day ever. We just keep getting more and more busy. So that's obviously a super cool thing to have. Whether it's on Twitter or Discord, expect us to have an insane party at NFT NYC where, all our members will get free access to that. They'll also have +1. So if you're friends with a member, you can try to sneak your way in that way. And that's going to be awesome. We have that event on the 21st. We also have an event on the 20th, an exclusive barbecue for our members, which is just a more of an informal, casual kind of welcome event for people on the first day. And then we also have a panel on the 23rd, I believe, that will be, featuring some of the biggest speakers, builders, innovators in the space that we're excited to share more on soon. And yeah, that's a little bit about our NFT NYC experience. And I'm trying to think, what else can we share? What else do we have? Am I missing anything, Poppy?
I mean, aside from leaking, no, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Yeah, I think that's most of what we're comfortable sharing now. And then, yeah, hopefully we'll be able to share more soon. Just make sure you follow our Twitter. That's the best place to keep up to date on, everything new. You got Poppy running the show down there. He's killing it on Twitter. We also have our MBHQ collabs Twitter.
That's just about to talk about that.
Yeah, perfect. If you want to go into that, go ahead.
Yeah, we have about since April 21st, we have to date, we have 127 allowless spots given away already. We've partnered with, I think, over 27 different projects just in that time frame. Yeah, I mean, you'll see everything come. You'll see at least one project a week. At first, it was almost like every day, just because we got like Twitter rugged hard. Our account grew too fast. Yeah, we're well underway. I mean, you're going to see a lot of partnerships going on almost every week. So I'd stay up to date there. Your chances of winning are pretty good. We try to be as fair as possible. Yeah.
No, that's a great point too. And that's kind of how I got my start in NFTs as well, is, you try to do everything. Like, I did not start with a lot of money when I first came in, maybe a couple $1,000s, which, felt like a lot of money to me at the time. But now, like, since NFTs, it's just crazy how things can change. But, the best way, and some of my biggest wins early on, was just through entering these giveaways and these raffles, turning on post notifications, liking, retweeting, commenting, or doing whatever the little like side quest was that you would need to get to enter the giveaways. But yeah, that's an excellent way to get your start and kind of get a solid footing and engage with the space without having to invest your actual capital. And you can learn a lot that way.
The grind.
Yeah, exactly.
The wireless grind. All right.
Exactly.
Thank you guys for coming on. I had a great time learning about your project, and I'm sure all the viewers did too. And I hope you guys had a great time as well.
Yeah,
it's been awesome. Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure. Excited we got to chat, and looking forward to what you guys have coming too.
Definitely. Have a great day, guys. I'm going to end the stream